So this morning we're off on a 3-day trek in the forest in the snowy mountain range, and this is the expedition truck that we're about to jump on, which will take us to the road end. Apparently we heard it was going to rain quite a bit and there's lots of leeches. That's all I know really. We're just going to go into the forest with a hunter or two. We're going to guide us, and we have no idea where we're going to sleep tonight, but I think it's just going to be underneath a tarpaulin of some sort. Ashung is explaining that he and his friend Yako are about to make an offering to the ancestors who are now abiding in the forest.
Kemukan kani tenak kindaran teo ko yani kani ni kumaras ga ni moht kebak itang gaga tatayan kani ya musa mem kanu ko kalang kini an simu hbun selak kani ga ciwan dia mas maki ke sajin dingi maki maka ana saga tarin makani kengyan makani ga teo ko kini an simu kalang hbun selak kani ga lekisam mek zin kangi kani tuki kani anak hyuci wi ga lekisam ru kakain ha ana memabi biah jitatak wiga laki pahinanuk miakah ninun so saw kora ka miakah nasbihui ana memaniak wi laki mimau miakah kaya wi aring kindaran yaga talaki nalu selaki su kenan kani ana memuah kriah maras meku gedlu ini ga maras meka kadang na laki musa qoyat biah bun selak ni ga musa mem qoyah wiga wasle kun mem lahang kami wa yihtu nanu mahupana yaw وما بدلك ولا يقوم معكي بيحكي أنش مقالن بح بونسلاقني وما بدلك ولا يقوم معان تكشينو ناجا بقول كاين كني شتيو ديو من أساس
So I'm absolutely loving this jungle expedition so far. We were going to have rain, but it's really sunny and beautiful weather, and this guide is from a local tribe that he knows all about the plants and animals. And he's sort of stopping quite often on the way to tell us interesting details of how they use the plants and how they trace the animals for hunting and so on.
You look at here. It's not smooth. It means the fly squirrel bite it and eat all the seed, fruit.
Yeah.
So the Aboriginal people, they know what animal will come, and then they'll use trap to catch.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trap is on the tree.
带支木枪啊，去打猎啊。
So we're following quite a good bench track, and in some places it's been cut into the rock. So it was made apparently by the Japanese when they wanted to come into the forest to control the Aboriginal families and get them to come out of the forest into the city. We seem to be arriving at a camp. So we're stopping here for lunch, but someone else has been here before us and left a lot of rubbish. So our guide is taking some photos because he likes to preserve this area.
The hunter, he is angry about all these trashes and garbages. He used to take care of this trail, keep it clean, and bring everything down. That's the traditional way to deal with everything you bring. You take back to your down to your.
Who leaves the rubbish, do you think?
The fishing young person, also Aboriginal, but they do fishing here, but they don't know that much traditional wisdom, so they just leave the plastic here.
Right. this is definitely getting wet now. So we're still, I don't know, 3/4 of the way, and it's really started to become a rainforest. So we are just arriving at the encampment, which looks like a really big tent, sort of open area. Brilliant. So, the thought had been that we would look at this place as an option for 14-year-olds for a camp in the forest where they do a certain amount of coming of age, arts, engagement, delving into the forest, surviving, tramping, and just thinking about the route here just now. We had a half a day of sunshine and then the rain started. It was, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours actually tramping with breaks adding on to that, so haven't actually checked the time. But to imagine taking 20 or 25 kids all with heavy packs through along those tracks where a slip could be very dangerous because it's actually on their bench tracks on very steep slopes, and you'd be really hard pressed to pull somebody up if they fell down 30 meters into the forest. So it's not the first place I'd like to bring a big group, and this would be the accommodation. So if it was raining like this for 3 days, you would really be thinking hard how to entertain them without just getting them drenched. So problem is with big groups is you go at the pace of the slowest person, so it just needs 1 or 2 really slow people to make the whole experience a bit epic, and highly likely that you wouldn't make it and you'd be camping in the forest with a group, possibly in the rain. Not what I'd like to do. I think just a bit too far. Not too hard, but just too much of too far. That's my initial thinking about this place. But we're going to spend, I guess, the evening here. I don't know if we're spending tomorrow here as well. Yeah, that's just my first thoughts. Might change my mind. But, well, of course, we're working together. But that's just my thoughts. So we're just on a little trip down the river. The hunter we're with is a member of the Taiwan tribe, which is an Aboriginal tribe in Taiwan. And 3 generations ago, his father's grandfather was living in this area, and they were fighting the Japanese who were in Taiwan for 50 years, ruling Taiwan, and his father's grandfather would be, they would attack the Japanese in the forest and sometimes kill numerous soldiers, and they would chop off their heads and sort of half scalp them and then carry their heads back to the village as a sign of prestige. So they could carry apparently up to 3 heads in each hand, a total of 6 heads per person, if they were, if you like, on a successful, very, very successful mission in terms of fighting. So it's quite a history, really, the headhunter history. Of course, that's no longer, that was over 3 generations ago. But yeah, it's just part of the story of this culture. So these 3 people I'm with are all teachers. In the blue is Sini, who is a school teacher and administrator. Sophie is a biology teacher, and Tan Chun on the right in the red jacket is an outdoor teacher and an intermediate level teacher. all interested to see if we can make this area part of their school curriculum for their students, perhaps being taught ecology and connection with the forest by our friend Ashore the hunter. That's the plan, somehow.
This
is a lesson on the dung of the barking deer. Is that the pig?
Yeah, barking deer and the pig. Yeah. Female dung and the male dung.
Ah, you can tell the female and male dung apart.
Belong to two pigs. This one is bigger, this one is smaller.
Okay.
And here is the goat.
山羊。那这个是山羌，山羌。
Oh, and barking deer.
我们这边是那个动物的乐园。
I'm quite overwhelmed by how much information you can get out of an expert walking along a riverbed, past some trees, and looking at animal footprints, and the amount of detail and the amount of knowledge this guy has is kind of really mind-blowing. It's amazing. Anyway, we're on our way back up to the campsite again, back up the riverbed and see what's next. It's been a great trip. Just the most amazing trip to be in a Taiwanese jungle valley with a local Aboriginal expert hunter. This is the morning. We're going to walk out back to the car. Yes. We're all packed up and ready to go back through the pouring rain to the road end.